When people ask me about my earliest memories, I think of my first nightmare. I know it sounds a bit macabre, but it's the truth. This nightmare has ingrained itself into my mind so vividly, it feels like it truly happened. I was about 2 years old. I'm in my father's old two-story house, sitting next to him on our old couch. He was watching a basketball game on TV. He's always been a big basketball guy, even to this day. I'm more into hockey personally. He's cheering on one of the teams when he suddenly gets a phone call. He answers, and on the other end is the voice of a woman. I can't remember what she said exactly, but it's important enough for my dad to suddenly turn to me, tell me to stay right there, and leave the room. He's walking out downstairs and out of the house, leaving me behind on the porch. The doors are closed, and I'm just sitting there crying after him. He tells me he'll be right back as he gets up into his old, beat-up white van and drives off into the darkness. I've always had a fear of being alone. Even to this day, I feel uneasy without someone else being in a building with me. Though, looking back at it, what happened next might be the reason why. As I looked outside into the darkness of the night, behind the porch door, an arm breaks through the door, razor-sharp claws on each fingertip, black curly fur covering each patch of skin. Then it shoves its head through the door. The creature, the beast. That was the first of many times I'd see its fucking face. It was a wolf. A huge fucking wolf head, black as the abyss, eyes bloodshot red, and a wide, smiling, sharp teeth-filled mouth. It began crashing its way through the door. I'm crying and running through the living room when I see that there's more than one inside the house. One crashes through the living room window. Another crawls from underneath the table. And one of them is peeping from behind the TV. I make a mad dash towards the kitchen, but I see one of them in the doorway while another one's coming in through the back door. I take her right into the hallway, running for my life, but more are chasing me through the hallway, breaking through doors, rooms left and right. I keep running until I finally get to my parents' bedroom. And just as I open the door, I see one crawling towards me. One inside my parents' closet breaks through it, and another crawls from underneath my parents' bed. As I turn back to run away, I get picked up 7 feet into the air by the one that I saw on the porch. He smiles towards me as he bites into my neck. And just like that, I go from seeing a monster to seeing the morning light hit my face as I'm crying on the cold floor of the hallway. I hear my mother's voice as she calls for me. She comes around the corner and sees me on the floor crying. She picks me up and hugs me. She shushes my tears and begins carrying me down the hallway, around the corner, where I see my dad with a concerned look on his face. My mom was furious with him. They yell back and forward, my mom pointing her finger in anger at him, and my dad trying his best to defend himself. She then leaves with me in her arms past him. As she's leaving, I see sadness in the ground my father's face as I look towards his direction, but it was hard to focus on, as just around the corner, I see it again, the wolf, smiling at me. The scene shifts to my mom's house. She puts me in my bed and begins singing The Great Physician. I always loved hearing her sing that song. It soothed my soul. As she leaves the room, the morning light quickly turns from bright warm and welcoming colors to the cold, dark night, as if moonlight had suddenly replaced the sun. As she leaves the room, her voice gets more distant and goes quiet altogether. And then, from my vision, I see the wolf looming over me again. It smiles, and it bites into my neck again. Throughout my life, I've seen the beasts even to this day in my nightmares. I was going to say dreams, but when I really think about it, I've never really had dreams in general, only ever nightmares. And every one of them, he's there, smiling at me. I hate him. I truly do.